going to cover a lot today in Canva. We're basically just going to cover all the features, the basic features Canva offers you, and how to use all the little tools on there when you're editing, and all the little things you need to know. We could dive a lot deeper into Canva, but it could take hours and hours because it's very powerful, all the things it does. But I just wanted to give you a basic understanding so you can get in there and play with it and use some things. So I'm going to show you some tips and tricks in Canva today. I'm going to show you a live design. I'm going to design right in front of you and show you how easy it is, and I guarantee you, you can do it yourself. So when you log into canva.com, if you don't have an account, it's going to prompt you to create one. It's just like creating an account anywhere. You're going to put in an email and create a password, and that's how you're going to log in. It's going to ask you a few simple questions, like what are you going to do with this account? Basically, they're just trying to get an idea so that they can put marketing materials in front of you that they think you're going to use right off the bat. So don't be intimidated by answering those questions. And when you come in, this is what your home page looks like. So we're going to start across the top. Of course, you have your home button, so you can always come back home. If you go to templates, these are just some of the templates they offer. They're just giving you a quick upfront view. You can click on any of them and find out more. Features, same thing. These are all the different things you can do within Canva. You can do photos, icons. They even have the ability to print. You can send print to them. You can send business cards. They print t-shirts, banners, and I've purchased print products from them before. They get there on time and they do really good quality work. The learn button, you can go in here, and they have a design school, so you can go in here and learn all sorts of things about Canva. If there's different aspects you want to learn, you can research them. They also have a blog you can go to, so they have all sorts of resources. Over here is the help center. You can click on that button and ask any question you want, and you will find the answer. This is the settings. This is your personal account settings, so you can go in and see all that good stuff. We'll get to this big purple button in a minute. This also is your account settings. You can actually put your picture in there if you want. Then when we come down the side, it tells you what type of account you have. This is a pro account, so this is a paid account. So there's 3 types of accounts, or actually there's more than 3. I think there's 4 or 5 now. There's the free account, then there's the pro account. The pro account is $12.99 a month. I highly recommend it. You'll see lots of this little symbol. You'll see it's a crown. There it is. Anytime you see that, that means it's a pro item. And if you do not have a pro account, you have to pay to use these features wherever they are. But if you pay for the pro account for the $12.99 a month, everything is free to you to use. They also have what's called an enterprise account, which is what I use as a business, and allows me to work closely with multiple clients. If you are a nonprofit, you can get a free pro account. All you have to do is apply and give them your information, and they will give you a free account, and then you can do everything for free. They also have an educational account if you're a school, so you can use it with students. So they have several different account types. For a small business, I would recommend you spend the $12.99 and get the pro. If you use any of these features with a free account, you can use them one time, and they charge you a fee for those, a minimal fee. But by the time you do that, it almost adds up to the $12.99 a month. And honestly, you might as well just pay for that and write it off on your taxes. So as we go down the side, we have home. Just tells you you're on the home page. This is your projects. So anything you've created is in here. You can create folders by going up here and hitting the plus button, choosing folder, giving it a name. You can even invite team members if you have several people that work on your account, or teams that can access just that folder. I have folders for every one of my clients that sits in mine, and I save them all separately so I can go in and find what I need quickly. One of the joys of Canva is you can share designs. So if anyone has shared a design with you from another Canva account by email and you open it, it will sit in your shared designs. Trash, anything you trash will sit there for 30 days and then it will be gone forever. So make sure you really want to trash it. You can create teams. I believe you can create, I can't even remember, was it like up to 300 teams I saw the other day or something crazy, with a huge amount of people in each team. So if you were a business that had several teams, like a marketing team, a sales team, and whatever, you could create different teams and put several people within the team. And then they can't see everything in your Canva account. They can only see what they need to see. Brand kit. This one's important. Make sure you set up a brand kit. So if you have a logo, you come in here and you drop those files in here. And then Canva automatically comes in and picks up the colors within my logo for me. And then you can add more down here. We always add colors using the hex code. You can see this one is 3E, 6E, 7A. And in a minute, I'll show you what that means and where you find hex codes. You can discover palettes in here. So if you don't have a logo yet and you want to build a brand and choose a set of colors, it gives you some suggestions. So you can choose from those if you see something you like. Over here, you can put your fonts in. So every time you create something, everything should look the same. That's just good business, so they know it's you. So if you have a website, ask your website designer what your fonts are and put them into Canva so that anything you create that's a marketing material is going to match your website. And then again, it gives you that professional look. Canva has hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of fonts to choose from. However, if yours is not in there, and it does happen on occasion, you can upload a font here. And it will come into Canva then and you can use it. You also always have a little help menu at the bottom of every page you can click on. As far as colors, I do want to show you that you can go to canva.com/colors. This is a really cool page they have that does all sorts of little things for you. They have a color palette generator. You can actually upload any image in here and it will pull every color out of it and tell you the hex number. So if you found an image online that you really like and you'd like to know what all the colors are because you want to create an image with the colors in it, you can come in here and find all of those. They also give you samples and you can click on them and get all the hex codes. They have the color palette ideas. So you can come in here and type any theme or keyword and it will pull up a palette to go with that. And then again, you can see all the numbers and colors when you click on it. It'll open that up for you. There's the color wheel. I'm sure you remember these from art class in high school. You can come in here and move the color wheel and it'll tell you the hex number for any color. And of course the colors that go together and the color wheel and how it works. Then you can actually create a color palette in here and export it to your Canva account. So you don't even have to input the hex codes. It does it for you automatically. And then color meaning. Color has each color has a meaning. And when I design logos with clients, that's a big thing we talk about because different colors portray different things when people see them. I choose blue in my business because blue is calming and I want people to feel calm and serene when they see anything I create. So you can come in here and click on any color you want and open it. It's going to tell you the meaning of the color. You can open blue green and it tells me that blue green is one of Crayola's oldest crayon colors and has been a part of the set of Crayola crayons since 1930. So it tells you what colors are, what they mean, what colors go with them. It tells you all the colors that make it up, how much red, green, blue, you know, all this different kind of, if you ever want to know all that great stuff, it's all in there. So that will help you with colors. All right, back to this home page. The last thing we have on the left is a content planner. You do have the ability to directly post to your social media from Canva if you have a pro account. That is something they offer now. So you can go in and create them. And you can, there's a save button I'll show you in a little bit and a share button, and you can connect to your social media and you can post them directly. I personally have not used it, so I don't know all the features of it, but I'm assuming you can go in and write your own content and all that stuff. I don't believe that you can choose the time it gets posted. I believe you can only choose the day, so it does have some limitations. I'm not sure that it helps you with hashtags or any of those type of things, but if you're just starting out and you need an inexpensive option to do that, it is there for you to use. All right, so now let's get into the center section of the home page. So in Canva, you've got 3 ways to start a design. You can come up here to create a design, and it's going, you can search, or it gives you options, many options. You can do a custom size if you want to put in your own size. Or you can come here to this white bar and do the same exact thing. It gives you options. You can search templates or your projects. You can come here and do a custom size as well, or you can come search through all this stuff. And the For You, it'll tend to put things that you use most often. So you can come in here and click on them. You can see that when you put your mouse over them, you can see the exact size. An Instagram story is 1080 by 1920. An Instagram post is 1080 by 1080. It takes all the work out of it for you. When you click on it, it opens it in the exact size you need, so you don't even have to think about it. And so every one of these is built that way. And you can see all these different things you can create in Canva. And down here is anything you've designed recently. This is where it will sit. And you can come reopen it this way, or you can go into your projects and reopen it by your folder. So that's the home page. So let's talk a little bit about the Canva editor. In order to do that, I'm just going to choose Instagram post, and I'm going to open a blank Instagram post. So this is what it looks like. It gives you this white screen. So now you can drag and drop options over here and totally create from a white screen. Or the thing that Canva does extremely, extremely well is templates. And for you that are not designers, there are thousands and thousands to choose from, and it can get you started. And they're all edit. You can edit all of them. You can change colors, fonts, everything about them you can edit. Before we get into that, we're going to talk about this blue bar right up here, the blue purple. Of course, if you click home, it takes you back to the home. File page, this is where you can name your design. The name, you can also name it here. There's 2 locations. So you would just put here, and it would automatically update it over here. This is also what it's going to, well, it should, I say that. I didn't push enter. This is also how it's going to save it. So this will be, make sure whatever you name this is what you want your file named, because it's how it's going to save it on your computer. If you download directly from Canva, it always downloads to your download folder on your computer. That's where you'll find all your designs. So you have your name, you have the size of the design. If for some reason you didn't want this one, you can create a new one. Canva now has rulers and guides, which is really cool. You can see that right here. So you can pull them either direction. Can help you with lining things up and making things sure things are straight. You can show margins and print bleed. These are important if you're sending an item to a printer. So anything on the outside of this dotted line gets cut off at a printer. So they just want to make sure you pull color all the way to the edges. That's how you get that full crisp look when they cut them, but just don't want any text or anything you wanted to show. You want to make sure it's not on the outside. It will get cut off. You can save your document here, and I'll show you another way to save in a minute. You can save to a folder. So when you created folders earlier, when you're done with this document, if you want to put it in a certain folder to find it again, you would do that here. You would go through and you would choose your folder and you would drop it in. You can comment. So if you have a team, they can come over here and they can leave comments. They can even leave emojis. You can have conversations with people. They can comment back and reply to you, people on your team, so they can say, I don't like this, or let's change that color, or let's change the font, any of those things. Version history, this is also a pro item. So Canva auto saves. It's not like you're going to go save here and there. It auto saves. That's what this button is right here. It lets you know that the latest version is saved. So if someone else on your team comes in and makes a change, it's going to change on your account too, because you're sharing it. Okay. So make sure you understand that when you share a Canva document with someone, they have the same exact document you do. So if they change it in their Canva account, it's going to change in your Canva account. If you don't want that to occur, you need to share it as a template. And I'll show you how to do that in a minute. When you share as a template, you're opening a copy of that document on your Canva account, not the original. So when you change a template, you are not changing the original document. However, if you're working together as a team, typically you're changing it on both sides and leaving comments for each other. But you can go back to an older version history. So if somebody came in and really messed up your graphic and you're not happy about it, you can go back and search for an older version and pull it up here. You can make a copy. So when you're done with this, you want to make a copy of it and just slightly change something for another project. You can make a copy of it. It'll open it in a new window and you can make whatever change you want and rename it. Download. Again, you can download from here. You can open Canva in a desktop app, and then here is the help menu. The resize button is an amazing tool, only available again in Pro, but I highly recommend it. So for instance, right here, we have a Instagram size. So when I am done creating this in Instagram, let's say now I need it in a Facebook ad, on a postcard, and on a flyer. So I come over here and I'm like, okay, now I want to make these items. And you can see the sizes. You can choose as many as you want. And when you push copy and resize, it's going to open 4 windows. The first one, it's going to take your graphic and resize it into this one, and then into this one, and then into this one, and you get the picture. Sometimes when it resizes it, it's not exactly perfect, especially if you're going from something small to something large. You may have to go make a few tweaks or move things around, but it's extremely handy so that you don't have to recreate it in different sizes every single time. So this is well worth your money in a pro account. This is the undo button. So if you mess up, you can go back so many steps. You can also use the shortcut Control Z, as you can see here. And then this is the redo button. And the code for that is Shift Z. And again, this is the save that lets you know anytime you make a change in here. So if we were to add something, you could see it had 3 little dots, and now it lets you know it is saved. Again, this is the name of your design. That's what it's going to save us. This shows you who's on your team and who can access this design. These are analytics and insights. So if you were using these as a social media post, you have some of that, I think, in there. This is the share button. If you're a Canva user, you'll discover that a few weeks ago, there used to be a download button and they got rid of it. So now everything sits under this share button. So if you want to share this with someone, you can put their email here. You can choose only the people that you email, or anyone with the link can access it either way. And then they'll give you a link that you can email to people. Now they can open this document. That's how you share. You can do a view only link. So if you're creating something and you just want somebody's opinion, but you don't want them to edit it, you can give them this link. And now they can just go in and see it on their screen. It just opens as a picture and they can view it. If you go to the download button, you have the option, of course, to download as a PNG. I always recommend this. This is a high quality graphic. And this is also, if you have a pro account, where you can get a transparent background. So you can choose transparent background. JPEGs are, of course, a small file size. Those are handy if it's just being shared in email or on the internet. You have 2 PDF options. The PDF standard is for something you're going to email back and forth. PDF print is for something you're going to send to a printer that you need professionally printed. It is a very large document and it'll probably be in a zip file. It's very important that they have this quality for a printer. SVG is what us designers use in Adobe Illustrator. It means it's going to take everything and make it into what we call a vector graphic, which becomes a shape. And then we can open it in our software and use it there. You can save also as videos. You can create videos in Canva. And I believe if you scroll down even further, here's where you can share on social. Here's where you can send to their printer. And then they have even more options. You can present like I am right now. This is how you would make it a template. So if you wanted to send a template to someone, and again, that means that they have it on their Canva account, and when they change it, it doesn't affect yours. So it is a template. This is how I share with my clients. You can send this link and then they can open it in their account. And you can see you can get an embed code. If you have a website, you can embed anything into it from Canva. It works with all the social media channels you see here. You can save to Google, Dropbox, Microsoft One, PowerPoint. You can send via email. You can send things directly to MailChimp, Slack, and it just keeps going and going and going. It integrates with all these different things, so you can kind of look at it and see if you use any of these and how they would work together. Down here again, you have the help button. This is the zoom button, so you can zoom in and out and view your project close up if you're working on something intricate. So now we get over to the left side. Of course, you always start with your templates. And in here, you can search by topic. So if you're having an event, you can type event and it's going to bring up events. You can search further by color. You can even search by language. They have hundreds of languages in here. So you can be as specific as you want, or you can just research. Canva's really good at reading your mind, and they will place things in here that they think you're going to use a lot. Evidently, they think I need to drink beer. So anyway, as you go through, you can see they do holidays. I mean, they have anything and everything. I do a lot of social media for churches, and you can even type in Bible verse, and they bring up a wide array of ways you can share Bible verses and quotes. I mean, they just have everything you can imagine. And when you find something, you just click on it, and it'll open it over here. And then you can literally click on every piece of this and edit it however you want to match your brand. This is Elements. This is anything you may want to add. Maybe you don't like this particular doggy and you would like a different one. So maybe you would like this dog instead, and you want more of a cartoon dog, then you can bring your dog over here. You can change the dog's colors. You can move him around. You can do all sorts of things. So in here you have graphics, photos, graphics, videos, audio. There's all sorts of stuff that sits in here. Again, you can search even farther by color, orientation, whether you want it to be static or animated, whether you want it to be cut out or a photo in a background. And of course you can choose between free and pro if you only have a free account and you want to not see the paid stuff. And they do tempt you with the paid stuff because it's just cuter. You can see you have charts, tables, frames, grids. Anytime you see this, this is kind of a placeholder for Canva. It means you can drop something into it. So you can choose anything you want and drop it in there. You probably need a photo. You go to photos and drag one. Now it will fill the circle. And they come in all different shapes and sizes. Uploads, you can upload anything you want into Canva to use that they don't have. So anything you create or a photo of yourself, anything you want, you can upload into here. You can record yourself in Canva and upload it into here. You can upload videos as well as audio. Photos, same thing. They have hundreds and hundreds of photos. You can search for something specific. You can be even more specific again and apply all these filters. Then you have text options. The top is always going to bring up your brand kit first so that your items are always on brand. But then they have options. So you can choose any of these options and edit them. And they put all sorts of cute things together depending on what you're looking for. You can even search for different things. The style button, again, your brand is always going to come up on top from your brand kit. But then they have all these options. So we're looking at this graphic over here and we say, I want to change the colors, and you come through and you say, I like these. It will now update this graphic to any colors that are in here in any way that it can to make it look what you're looking for. And you have the colors option as well as the fonts option. This is always your brand, and then they put fonts together for you. So if you're not sure what fonts go good together, you can come in here and pick one of these and it will change it over there, as you can see. I'm not going to get a lot into audio and video tonight because that's a whole nother thing that would take hours. Maybe we'll do a class on that at some point. But audio, they pull from YouTube. But you can, if you're creating videos, you can pull them audio over here. And now you can see it's going to play audio. And you can start creating videos that way. Videos, again, thousands to choose from. You can literally drag them over and they move. Pretty cool. So you can have lots of options there. Background, you can just come in here and change your background to anything here. You can search, you can do colors. They have gradients, textures, nature, anything you can imagine. You can type in a keyword, it will bring up all sorts of items. You can see it just keeps changing. We're going to get the QR codes in just a minute, so we'll come back to that. The logos is your logos. Whatever you uploaded in your brand kit will always show here. You can add more by uploading them right here. Folders, when you create folders, they'll all show up here. So if you're looking for something specific, you can find it here. We have folders with assets in them that we like to use sometimes, and we pull those up in here. And then the more button just covers even more, believe it or not. You can create your own character now. You can draw on the screen with a pencil. You can put a Google map in here from a location. You can embed a YouTube video, and it just goes on and on and on. So you can play with all that and see everything it does. So now that you know all your options, we can come over here and talk about how to design and what all these great things mean. So I am going to add a page. So when you are in here, here's your options. You can duplicate this exact page if you want the same one again. You can delete the page. You can add a page. If you add a page, it's automatically going to add whatever background you had up above color-wise. It just doesn't move the text or any pictures with it. You can continue adding pages. You can have up to 100 pages in the design. You can move them up and down. You can name each one individually if you'd like. So those are all options within here. So let's choose something here and do a little. So here's a post that says, happy birthday. May you have a happy and healthy birthday. So what can we do? Well, this is a picture, as you can see. So if you're not happy with that picture, you could come over here to photos and you could search birthday. And maybe you like this one better. So you just drag it over and now it has this one in the background. So you have two options when you're putting things over here. You can click drag them. If you drag them, they typically are going to fill the entire space. If you just click on them, then they don't fill the entire space. They put it in here and then you have the option to resize. The circles in the corner in Canva are always the resize. If you use the handles, that's the crop. It crops the picture or whatever you're using. And then you can resize just the cropped section. So that's kind of the difference with how all those work. You can, of course, change your fonts. You can change the colors. And when you click on colors, your brand kit is always going to appear here. Any colors that are in the document are always going to appear here. You have default colors. If you want to choose a new color, one of the new features they have that's really cool is the eyedropper. So you can now color match. So you can come in here and color match anything on the screen and it will pick it up and change it for you. You can change the font. That must be an image. You can change the font. So you can come here and click on fonts. Again, your brand kit always comes up at the top. Right here. You can search fonts. They have hundreds and hundreds. You can see these are pros. The ones without the crown are free ones. If you want script, you can type in script. You can choose them. Some of them you cannot bold and italics. If they're grayed out, they're just not an option with that particular font. And you'll find that mostly with script fonts, that's not an option. With this one it is. You can see you can bold it. You can make your font larger either by grabbing or by coming here and manually putting in a number or clicking the plus and the minus. This is alignment. So you have left align, justified, left align, center. You can do bullet points or numbers. This is spacing. So you can change letter spacing or the line spacing. There are effects you can do. So you have shadow, you have lift, some of them have adjustments. Neon's pretty cool. You get all sorts of looking things. You can now curve text, which is a great feature they finally added. So you can come in here and have curved text. You can animate. So you can make your text come in and out or type like a typewriter. If you're doing a video, this stuff's pretty cool. Lots of features there. You can underline. You can make all your everything capital from lowercase to capital. Position, you can move things forward and backwards in your document, all your layers. You can take things to the top, to the left, to the middle, to the center. You get the picture. This is called copy style. Let me add something else in here so I can show you how to use this. So if you came in here and you really liked this, you could click on it. Then you could click on copy style and then click on this one and it would make that text look exactly like this one. That's what the copy button does. Transparency does just that, makes things transparent. There's a link button. This is really handy if you're working on creating a website in Canva, or if you're creating a PDF that you're going to send people where you want them to be able to click on a website or something. You can highlight the text, click the link button, put a URL in, and then when they click on that link, it'll take them to that URL. There's the lock button. So if you have a piece, lots of pieces on a page, you can lock it. And you can see it gives it, well, let me move it where you can see it. Yeah, see it locks it. And to unlock it, you just click here and you click unlock. But if you lock it in place, you can now move other pieces around and that one won't move. And the duplicate button, which is one of my favorites. You can duplicate anything as many times as you want. Move it around and delete, then you can delete pieces. There are shortcuts in Canva. So if you push the T, it's automatically going to drop in a text line. If you push in C, you get a circle. R, you get a square. L, you get a line. And of course, with the line, you can change the weight. You can add things to the end of the line. You can animate the line. It just goes on and on and on. Now with position, see the line, maybe I want it behind the text. I would come in here and push backwards. Now it takes my line and puts it behind the text. A few things I want to point out to you. If you are working, say, in a business card and you have the social medias, you have Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever, and you're trying to line them all up, and it does give you some assistance, but it can be hard to get that spacing right. All you have to do is come in here and grab all of them and go to the position button and click on tidy up, and it puts them right in a row for you and gives you the exact spacing. And you can do that either direction. You can tidy up. Pretty cool feature. Another question I get asked a lot is how to take a photo and put the little white rim around it that you see now that's really popular on social media. In order to do that, you would come in here and click edit image. One of the coolest things you can do in Canva is remove backgrounds. So you can click background remover, and it's going to remove all this gray stuff and just leave my pretty face there. And then sometimes it takes it a minute, but it does a pretty good job. Remember to resize. You can always drag to crop. You can always pull, and you can always undo it if you get it wrong. Now you push apply. To get the white line around it, you're going to go back over here to edit image, and you are going to choose shadows, and you're going to glow. And now you can see it dropped this glow behind me. But if you click on the three lines, you can come in here and choose white. And you can get the size as big as you want. And you can play with all the features. And then eventually you get that white line around you, and that's how everybody does that cool little thing. If you want to change the color of a graphic, this is a church logo someone gave me, and he said, hey, this is all I have. It's a JPEG, but I want it to be black. I said, okay. So you come in here and you click edit image, and then you're going to choose the duotone feature. And they have options for different colors, but they don't have black. So I'm going to click on any one I want. It makes no difference. I'm going to click here again, and I'm going to choose black because I want it to be black. I'm going to make both of these black. I'm going to make the intensity a 1. I'm going to click apply, and now you can see it has made it black. So a lot of times if you're in Elements, some of these, when you choose it, you cannot change the color. A lot of them now you can, but if you come across one you can't change the color, you can use duotone to change the color, which is kind of cool. And then you can add it to your piece. You can move items by using your arrow keys. Every time you click, it moves 1 pixel, or you can hold down the shift key and it will move 5 pixels at a time in any direction. That's really handy if you are trying to really line it up specifically with something. Other things you can do with images, you can flip them. So you can flip directions. Pretty cool. If you go to edit image, there are so many things you can do, and you can literally just sit and play with this, but you can adjust it. You can adjust all sorts of things: brightness, contrast, tint. They have built-in filters. You can do grayscale. So you can really come in here and play. They have a new auto enhance feature. They have mock-ups. You can now mock up things. You can mock up t-shirts. You can do all sorts of cool things in here. So just come through here and play with all of this. Control C and Control V, that's a good. Control C is copy. Control V is paste. And that's a shortcut that's good to remember because you can do that between documents. So if you had another document open, you could do Control C in here, open another Canva one, push Control V, and it would pop it into there for you. So that's pretty cool. You can import PDFs into Canva, which is also a really cool feature. In order to do that, you have to open your folder and you have to find a PDF, and you actually have to drag it into your designs down here. So you just drag it in and it will open. And as soon as it's done downloading, you can click on it. It'll open it in its own window. Now, typically, if it's any type of PDF, it's a font that Canva recognizes. It'll open it for you pretty well. You can see it kind of moves some things around, so I have to adjust. But if it's a font it doesn't know, it's going to change it to some other font, and then it can really give you different spacing, and you may have to go in and do even more editing. But it is pretty cool to be able to do that. A few things I want to point out that you can do in Canva as well is, one, you can create websites. Now they're not as powerful as your big old website that you're going to get, you know, with a website designer, but they work really well at giving you what you need. So from your home page, you're going to type in website, and it's going to bring you a ton of templates. Again, you can search specifically if you want something specific, or you can just click on one, and then it's going to open it in the correct size for a website, and it's going to give you all these built-ins. Now it's not a multi-page website, it is just one. It's like a landing page, it's just going to scroll. You can link in it, like I said earlier, by clicking on the text and hitting the link button. You can link to different pages in this document. So if you wanted to say, you know, find our location, and your location's on the 5th slide, you would click there, and then when they click on it, it's automatically going to take them down to the 5th slide so they can see all this. The only thing you cannot link to in Canva is an email. You have to link to a URL. But there's lots of ways you can use these little websites. If you have a big website already, you can use these as a landing page for events, perhaps some special event you're having, something, a service, a special service you're trying to promote. Or you can use these as a basic starting out website if you can't afford the big thing, and that's okay. If you need one, let us know. We can certainly help you design one in Canva. That would be a fraction of the cost of the big one that we would do for you normally. So what you do is you design this. Of course, you can edit it like anything else. You add your colors, you add your brand, you add your own pictures. When you're done, you come to the share button and you click website. It's that simple. And then you choose how you want it to be. There are several options. I like the scrolling option personally. And then you click open website. And now you have a website with this link. This is the link it gave you. You cannot edit the link. You cannot change the link. They give you this link. However, you could shorten it with bit.ly, or you could go by a domain name and just point it to this link. And then they would type in a domain name and this would open. And it scrolls with the parallax effect, which is pretty cool. And they can click on things. And you can see this one, I think we set up, when we clicked on it, it will just take them to this one. Just to show you some samples of how we use it. This is one that we did of our favorite resources that we sent to clients at one point. And here we have all the resources we like to use, and when you click on them, they take you to those websites. And so this is one way that we used it. And we put some marketing materials at the end, and of course, always let people know how to find you with a call to action. This one I did for Sarah, who's actually online with us tonight. Before she had a full website, we did a little one for her. She has a home bakery, and we would put pictures of some of her baked goods. Don't they look yummy? That makes me want some brownies. And so she would use that with her clients before she got her website. So that it is useful, and there's a lot of things you can do with it. The other thing that you can do in Canva that's pretty handy is presentations. That's what I was doing tonight, was showing you things in a presentation. They're right here. So you have two options. You have the blank presentation, which you create. Again, they have templates to help you out. You can put notes for each page, and then when you go to share it, you would hit the present button, and all they see is what's inside the screen, and you can actually read your notes while you're doing a presentation. It's kind of cool. Then they have the talking presentation. This one, you do the same thing. You come in here and you create your slides and you make your notes, but then you go to present and record. So you're not presenting this live. You're going to sit here and actually record over your slides. And you'll see that sometimes when you attend a class you sign up for, but it's not really live, it's recorded. And they have the little circle down here with the person talking. So you can create all your slides and your notes, and you can talk through it, and your pictures down here, and then it downloads on your computer, and you can just share the link with people. I have lots of churches that use it for little mini Bible studies. Sometimes the pastors do those little Bible studies and things like that. So that's kind of the basics of Canva and all the things you can do in it. Some graphic design tips. So let me just give you some tips when you're in here working. I know you have all these templates at your hands, but there's just some things that if you just follow these simple rules when you're designing, will help your graphic be more attractive. Because even though you're working in a template, sometimes people stretch things out all over and it gets still kind of crazy. So the thing I want you to remember are these few things when you're creating a graphic. Always use a visual hierarchy to make the most important information stand out. So what you're really trying to stand out needs to be at the top, and it needs to be sized the biggest because you need people to catch their attention. People start reading from the top to the bottom. So as you can see in this sample here, you have this great burger, which really draws you in. It makes me want to eat a burger. I don't know about anybody else. But at the top, you got delicious burger. So you hit them right off. What is it? It's a delicious burger. That's what you want them to know. You want to come here and buy a delicious burger. The other thing to remember is to align all your elements consistently. These, as you can see, are centered. So if this text is centered, all this text down here needs to be centered. You know, if your text is left aligned, then all your text on this graphic needs to be left aligned. If it's right aligned, all your graphics need to be right aligned. Just make sure they're all always consistent. Group together related items. So you can see these are related. That's the name of the website in order now. So they group together their related items. Try to only use 2 to 3 fonts in a design. If you use any more, oh my goodness, your eye just goes crazy and then people leave because they don't know where to go. You have to teach people where their eyes go, where you want them to land, and what direction you want it to go in. That's your job as a designer. Okay, so you start them with the main point. You draw them down visually with this picture. They're like, ooh, 50% off. I get this burger 50% off. Where do I get it? Right here. How do I get it? Right here. You click this button and you order now. They took them all the way through. So try to only do 2 to 3 fonts. Remember to use contrast with your colors, your textures, your fonts. You can see we used, you know, a regular font here and then a script font here. They work well together. Opposites attract in design. And then you can see these are the same font and these are the same font and they're all the same. So it gives it some consistency. Consistency is key. You can add color elements and photos to draw attention. You can see they did that and put this cool white overlay here to bring more attention to this as you move down and away from the burger. The last one's the biggest one. Like if I could just get people to understand this, embrace negative space. You do not need to fill up that whole square to grab someone's attention. It doesn't need to have a flashy background. It doesn't need to have things moving and shooting all over. Your text doesn't need to be from edge to edge. Embrace the space. Let it breathe. It will speak for itself. And keep it simple. If you're making a social media graphic here, you don't need to put everything on this graphic. You don't need to have the price and your address and, you know, that's in the content. What you want to do is catch somebody with this graphic and then you put all the extended information in that content. It doesn't all need to be on the graphic. So keep it simple and let it breathe. Just remember, let it breathe.